welcome to this channel, and today we will be unboxing and flipping through and doing a little mini pick a card reading at the end with the cards from this deck, Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Alright, so let's read the back first before I take the plastic off. Kali, the wild mother of divine grace, spiritual freedom, and radical transformation, embraces your courageous soul. Kali, the wrathful goddess of supreme spiritual protection, welcomes your tender heart. Kali, the pure and ever watchful, stands against all that obstructs your fulfillment. The ego may fear her, but your true self takes comfort in her ferocious compassion and unyielding wisdom. Dance, revel, and rejoice in the presence of the Great Mother. With the empowering insight of Alana Fairchild and the striking imagery of Jimmy Manton, this unique oracle set is an offering of guidance, clarity, and healing that involves unconditional love, divine blessing, and authentic spiritual unfoldment. Share sacred space with Goddess Kali in her many forms for a direct experience of her alchemical power. Be held in the glory of her being and behold your destiny, dedicated to your bold and tender heart for the spiritual liberation of all beings. Alright, so it's time to go ahead and take the plastic off. So this box kind of already came with a little bit of a hole in the plastic, so I don't have to get my scissor or anything out in order to poke a hole, and I'm just ripping through. Okay. I've already watched some videos of this deck being flipped through, and I really like the cards. And I was also thinking that instead of like just using it as an oracle deck for readings, I'm also going to use it to like pull cards every day and place a new card every day at my altar. So that is something you could do as well if you have an altar at home. And if you have pictures or little figures of any deities or anything, if you have an altar at all, and if you really end up liking the cards in this deck, you could probably use some cards as daily pullouts for your altar. So the cover of this box is like matte, and only these little borders are kind of reflecting light. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull this box out. So the inside of the cover is this shade of red, and it comes with this little paper here. I know what I'm gonna do with this. At the end of this video, I'm gonna do a little bit of a reading for myself. If there are any good suggested spreads in the deck, I'm gonna pull some cards out and write the card that came up for me for the first time that I did a reading for myself, and I'm gonna make a record of the first cards that ever showed up for me from this deck. All right, so I love the quality of this book. It has this beautiful vintage yellowy shade on the pages, and it has that beautiful fresh new book smell, and the cover of the guidebook doesn't like stick out after the very first time you open it like a lot of guidebooks do, and I really love that. Look at the back of this. There's this beautiful image of one of Kali's representations. It's gorgeous. I love her eyes, and look at these flowers. It's gorgeous. All right, so I really love how the guidebook looks and feels. The cover of the guidebook is also matte and smooth. Let's look at the content page. So there isn't a whole lot going on. There is this introduction, and then there are the card messages. So I don't see any information about a card spread given here. So if there isn't any card spreads suggested on the book, I will probably just pull out the first card that ever came up for me, and then write about it on this little piece of paper that came with it. I think that's going to be a really good way to celebrate me getting this book for the first time. Oh wait, there are suggested card spreads. It's all in the introduction. So the introduction is like really big, and it includes card spreads as well. I wish they had like written card spreads over here separately, so that as a first time user of this deck, I would know right away where to go for the card spreads. But anyway, since you're watching this video, you will know that there are suggested card spreads in the introduction section. Okay, so I'm now going ahead and taking a look at the cards. So the cards are numbered. So I'm like looking at the cards this way, and I see different colors over here. So the cards are very multicolored, and like you see a whole range of colors on the borders of this deck. Like there is no border, but just the color on every card is different, and it's like beautiful. And so this is how the back of the card looks. It's this dark shade, kind of dark and dull shade of purple, and there is a cream written on this on the back of this card. So if you're someone who doesn't read Hindi or doesn't know Hindi, what it says over here is Kring. It's kind of like Kring. So let's look at the cards. This is the first card, Samshana, Vishwamata, Kaladhara, Kali Mahamaya, Gunatantrika, Troma Nangmo, Dakshana, Kali Kapali, Khadaga, Kundalini Shakti, Durga Kalika, Kali Yantra, Yuga Shakti, Bhadra Kali, Mahavidya, Mahakali, Blue Tara, Lalita Tripura Sundari, Bhuvaneshwari, Chinnamasta, Bhairavi Yogini, Dhumavati, Bagla Mukti, Matangini, Kamala Devi, Shodashi, Shri Bala, Guhya Kali, Devi Ma Kali, Nitya Kali, Chamunda, Kalratri, Anahata Kali, Kurukula, Kalika Tantrika, Artha of Kali, Dharma of Kali, Kama of Kali, Moksha of Kali, Mantra Shakti, Krishna, Kali Kalmasha Nashini, Gauri Devi, and Bhavatarini. Alright, so those were the cards. And I'm gonna pull the first card out for myself and see what's the first card that ever comes up for myself, and then I'm gonna write about it later in the little piece of paper that came with the deck. So I'm gonna pull the first card out for myself and then write about it and make a record of it in the little paper that came along on top of the deck. I think that's going to be a wonderful way to remember the first time I pulled a card for myself from this deck. And after that, we are going to do a mini pick a card reading for you. Okay. So let's see what card I get for myself. Okay. I'm gonna take a few deep breaths in and out now, and then I'm gonna randomly pull a card out with my left hand, whichever card my attention goes to first. So if this is something you want to do, you want to try for your own self with any new decks that you get, you could do it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. And the first card that came out for me from this deck was Troma Nangmo. So I'm going to go ahead and read from the guidebook and see what the first ever message for me was from this deck. Okay. She arises instinctively, responding to a severe threat to your well-being, freedom, and sacred fulfillment. Her fierce form causes the impure to tremble and the pure of heart to move close. She is ferocious in her wrath against injustice. Dispense with thoughts of vengeance. Pray for mercy for all beings, especially those trapped in patterns of consciousness harmful towards themselves and others. Open your heart to her heart and allow her to attend to all matters of karma while you remain true to your higher self. Honestly, I can't even tell you how accurate this is for my situation. I think lately, if there is anything that is troubling me, is that I had made a few commitments in the past that are no longer true to my highest good and my desires and what I truly want to do. And lately, if there is anything that I want for myself, it is freedom. That is the only word I can ask for right now. Freedom from any commitments that no longer serve me, freedom from any commitments that no longer bring me joy, no longer bring me happiness, and are no longer helping me grow in the direction that I want to grow. So honestly, I don't think that this pull could have been more accurate or more helpful for me. I now know that there is someone out there taking care of me and looking out for me, and that her energy is there helping me, watching out for me, and making sure that I get out of anything that is no longer serving me and that is no longer aligned with my well-being. So I honestly cannot even tell you how amazing I feel that this is the card that I got and this is the description for it. I'm definitely gonna read all of this in details later, but I kind of now want to pull some cards out for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle this deck a little more, and we'll see what card comes out for you. I'm so happy that I bought this deck, that little card pull for myself was just so amazing. Like, I am so insanely happy with this purchase, and I'm gonna make a record of the card that came out for me in the little piece of paper. And I honestly feel like this was a really good decision to buy this deck, and I feel like I can really depend on this deck to give me accurate readings and give me exactly what I need to hear, and give me exactly the kind of confirmation and assurance that I need in these kind of moments when I am specifically struggling or specifically concerned with something. Cards like these that say that it's okay, it's taken care of, it's all working out for you, it's all going well. And these kind of confirmation that energies out there, bigger energies, bigger powers at play are taking care of your problems for you is just so reassuring and just so comforting. All right, so this is the first card. Let's take this for our second card, and let's take this for our third card. Okay, so we have 3 cards here. I will now show you the crystals. So these are the crystals that I have for you to pick with, and I'm going to go ahead and place them on these cards, and you can go ahead and close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in and out. And when you're ready, open your eyes, and whichever card your attention goes to first is most likely the card that has a message for you. If you feel conflicted and confused between more than one card or more than one crystal, definitely go ahead and listen to all of them, because I'm so sure that this deck is going to give you accurate readings like it just did for me. Like, I can't even with this deck. I'm already in love. All right, so if you need time to pause for more time to figure out, go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna go into the first one over here. Okay, so the first card that came up for you is Lalita Tripura Sundari. All right, so I'm gonna read this part. With luminous grace, she plays her ways into our hearts, softening hardness and despair, awakening the remembrance of light, of love, of joy. No matter what you have experienced, your heart shall be cleansed and released from ugliness, sorrow, and pain. Negative karmic legacies will be cleared away. Our divine sister goddess invites you to recognize her golden restorative beauty shining within your heart. Cultivate that which is worthy of such beauty, for that is your essence, for that is your essential nature. Gracefully release all else with dignity. All right, so this was all about being graceful and appreciating beauty and doing things with grace. And even if there is something that you need to discard or get rid of, do it with grace and softness and beauty, and like not let things turn ugly and not create any more negative energy than you have in the past. All right, so with the second crystal, let's go into the second card, and the second card is Mahavidya. So the Vidya word has to do with knowledge and education. So let's see what we have with this archetype of Kali coming out for you. She is unrestrained, unlimited, wild, and unconditional love. The heart knows how to attract grace and manifest creative resolution where the mind sees only difficulties. A spiritual awakening of tremendous value is opening for you as your inner being reorients itself around the increasing inner light. Established structures built upon lesser foundations will have to give away. She demands the courageous embrace of experience. She is your call to initiation and growth, your invitation to embrace your path, rise, and greet your destiny. So with this part here, she demands the courageous embrace of experience. I feel like this card is talking about you learning some lessons through experience. So that is going to be like your path of initiating on the path of your enlightenment and initiating on the path of your spiritual journey and learning lessons and gaining wisdom that you didn't have previously. So this is the third crystal, and let's look at the third card. Shamshana. All right, so this is the first card. This is card number 1. She shines her blessing of divine deconstruction, clearing away that which undermines your confidence and inhibits your activity on your life path. With the courage born of unconditional trust, you can accept her fierce intervention in your life with openness to the positive changes that shall emerge as a result. So those of you who are not familiar with the word Samshana or are not familiar with like Indian languages, this word actually means a place where dead bodies are burned. So it's kind of like similar to the concept of a graveyard. So this talks about endings and destruction, as you just heard from the guidebook. So that's what I'm getting from all these cards. This is talking about dealing with situations and conflict gracefully and not losing your shit even under like stressful conditions, and instead of engaging in conflict and disruptions, just walk away gracefully and peacefully. This is talking about learning and upgrading and building yourself up through experiences and staying open to experiences and facing any new experience, knowing well that this is going to up level you in some way. And that's the whole thing about trust. And this Shamshana, with this, it's talking about endings and destructions of things so that you can move on to other things. This is talking about endings and death of some kind. Death as in transformation, ending of something so that something new can begin. All right, so that was your mini pick a card reading, and those were all the cards from the Kali Oracle, and I absolutely love this deck so far, and I would recommend it to anybody who is interested in Oracle cards. So if you liked this deck, let me know what you liked the best about this deck, and if you are considering buying it, let me know what exactly inspired you to get it. And that's it. So if you liked the deck, if you liked the flip through, if you liked the pick a card readings, like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you took away from this video. And if you haven't already, check out the tarot and oracle deck haul that I recently did, where I talk about all the decks that I bought, so you would know what other unboxings and flip throughs are coming up on this channel. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.